So last night, during last night's Spirit Messages, towards the end of that special edition show that we done there over on our Facebook page, which is Spirit Meets Adventure, I took a rune and we done a rune casting. Now, you can actually see that show. It's an hour and a half long over on Spirit Meets Adventure there on Facebook. But what I was really kind of surprised by, and I was, when I kind of shook the rune bag and I kind of went into that rune bag and I pulled out this rune. Okay, now yesterday was solstice. Now, the actual kind of definition, if you like, of solstice is to actually stand still. Now, this rune, its meaning is to stand still. I just kind of really amazed by the kind of the greatness of that message at this time. And I think is a really, really important point is that if you kind of look at solstice, depending on kind of way you kind of look at everything, is that actually, you know, we were approaching the longest night, and thereafter, for the next kind of 4 days or so, the arc of the sun literally kind of stays the same. You know, it literally kind of stands still. And if you kind of look at this time, it's a time where I think, you know, potentially can quieten down. If you kind of look within nature, everything's kind of quietening down, everything's kind of become still, which is the meaning of this rune, which is the energy of the time. And that's what, you know, the Psi card insights have been. That's what last night's rune was. You know, it's kind of tapping into the energy of now. You know, but what a distinctive, powerful, very clear message. And I really kind of, you know, want to encourage everybody, you know, especially at this time, you know, that you may have obligations, you may have kind of sense of duty to kind of go here, there and everywhere. But actually, in fact, it's about kind of standing still, taking the kind of opportunity to really ask yourself where you want to be. You know, I had people last night within the Spirit Messages say to me, you know, Shane, you know, what's ahead for me? What does 218 bring for me? And my kind of answer from Spirit directly was, well, what do you want it to be? You know, I think it's really important that we discover who we are, what's important to us, and there, from that place, what do we want? Once we can identify who we are, what's important to us, and what we want, then we can start to shape it. You know, instead of kind of being in the receiving end or the passenger side of the car, is to actually jump in the driving seat. I think there's an absolute balance between action versus surrender, and I think that at this time of year that we need to kind of move into the space where we can hear both of those things very, very clearly. But the only way that we're going to is actually start to develop and nurture and foster a relationship with self. I think that that is at the heart of so much. Unless we kind of nurture that relationship to self, how we're going to know who we are, what's important to us, and what we want. Once we identify all of those things, then we're going to know what is good for us, what is right for us, what is acceptable for us. And I think this rune is saying, you know, just stop, pause. You know, the energy of now is supporting us to actually do that. But what we tend to do is going to run here, run there, run everywhere, you know, meeting all these obligations. But actually, in fact, the one person that is needing us the most is normally ourselves. You know, we abandon, if you like, we abandon ourselves when actually, you know, we need to kind of nurture that relationship. So I wanted to kind of share a little bit more of an in-depth insight into this rune. and also kind of extract the gold from some of those kind of messages last night and kind of condense it into a short video. This is me now. This is going to be me now to round about the 2nd of January. Those of you that are watching this on Spirit Meets Adventure, you'll see some posts that unfold, unravel between now and January. Just kind of stir up some thought, tap into the energy of now. Those of you that are on YouTube, you're more than welcome. Please do come over and find me on Facebook, and those who are on Facebook, please feel free to come over to YouTube. There's a whole resource of videos over there. This has been brought to you by www.shanegad.com. So one of the questions I got asked last night was, when I come offline, I got a few messages and emails and some grateful messages. One of the questions was, so what does this time of year, what does Christmas mean to me? Well, what it really kind of means for me is it's a chance to really kind of celebrate family, friends, and really kind of importantly to kind of become present. And one of the things that I really love to do at this time of year is kind of stop, which is this, to stand still and look back over this year, kind of look back over, those trials, those tribulations, those kind of joys and those celebrations, and to really kind of look at what I can take from all of those things, what have I learnt from all of those things, and importantly, how I'm going to apply it as I go forwards. And the other thing I really celebrate is, on the 25th of December, the new solar cycle, the days begin to become longer. It's the birth of the sun, as in the solar sun. And I really kind of celebrate the fact that very gently, little by little, those days become longer, the promise of warmer and longer days. Yeah, I absolutely love winter. Winter is such a healing time. It also can be a really inspirational time because it's kind of provoking us to go inward. There you go, guys. There's some of my thoughts. I'm wishing you all the most amazing Yule, the most amazing time with your friends and family, however that looks to you, however you celebrate this time. May it just be filled with light and goodness and heart, and the most amazing 218, as I say to you, is shape it, create it. This is the last kind of video you're going to get from me until early January, but what I want to say is, listen to that voice inside. Take care, guys. Have a most wonderful time. Speak soon.